leader of the opposition knows the airline business very well, and so I'm sure he knows how airlines run and what it is to work for an airline and the results. So I think the removal of VAT is one way in which we're trying to help to incentivize the airline business. So, Mr. Speaker, I just ask members to support the resolution, and let's move on to see whether we can encourage more entrepreneurship and more investment in the airline and watercraft industry.
Honourable members, the question is that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 3 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to include as an exempt import for a period of 2 years commencing from the 2nd day of August 2025 and ending on the 1st day of August 2027, the purchase or lease of an aircraft or a watercraft for local and regional travel. I now put the question. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker, whereas under Section 109 1E of the Value Added Tax, Act Cap 15.4 to the Act, it is provided that the Minister of Finance may, by order published in the Gazette, amend the schedules to the Act. And whereas it is further provided under Section 109.2 of the Act, that an order made pursuant to Section 109.1 of the Act is subject to an affirmative resolution of Parliament, except where the amendment is to the customs tariff headings only. And whereas the Minister of Finance seeks approval of the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule Number 3, Number 5 order to amend Schedule 3 of the Act by an affirmative resolution of Parliament to include as an exempt import the import of one Caterpillar D60XL DS type tractor and one TUF cut portable diesel 23 HP as usual by the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority. Be it resolved that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to include as an exempt import the import of one Caterpillar D60 XL DS track-type tractor and one TUF cut portable diesel 23 HP as usual by the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority. Yes, Mr. Speaker, again, this is a simple resolution requesting that the VAT on 2 pieces of equipment to be purchased by the Solid Waste Management Authority, that they become VAT exempt, Mr. Speaker. Again, Mr. Speaker, because of the law, we have to come to Parliament anytime we want to effect any adjustment to the VAT Act. And this is simply what we're doing. 2 pieces of equipment needed by the Solid Waste Management Authority. We come into Cabinet to Parliament, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we amend the Act so that we could get these pieces of equipment in VAT-free to assist the work being carried out at the Solid Waste Management Authority.
Honourable members, the question is that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-add tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 5 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to include as an exempt import the import of one Caterpillar D60 XL DS track-type tractor and one TUF cut portable diesel 23 HP Isuzu by the St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority. I now put the question. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Minister for Finance.
Whereas under section 1091E of the value added tax, Act Cap 15.42, the Act, it is provided that the Minister of Finance may, by order published in the Gazette, amend the schedules to the Act, and whereas further provided under section 1092 of the Act, that an order made pursuant to section 1091 of the Act is subject to an affirmative resolution of Parliament, except where the amendment is to the customs tariff headings only. And whereas the Minister of Finance seeks approval of the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 4 order to amend Schedule 3 of the Act by an affirmative resolution of Parliament to exempt imports of personal items, food, clothing, toys, and other household consumables contained in barrels for the period commencing from the 15th day of October 2025 and terminating on the 28th day of February 2026. B. Exempt imports of toys, food supplies, care packages, Christmas lights, and Christmas decorations by elected parliamentarians. Be it resolved that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 4 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to exempt imports of personal items, food, clothing, toys, and other household consumables contained in barrels for the period commencing from the 15th day of October 2025 and terminating on the 28th day of February 2026. B. Exempt imports of toys, food supplies, care packages, Christmas lights, and Christmas decorations by elected parliamentarians. Mr. Speaker, again, it's an action that we've taken every year from, I think, as early as the year 2000, when the then Prime Minister, the member for Beaufort South, thought that it was the right time to give some form of relief to people who got from the diaspora, who sent toys, etc., and clothing for their relatives in St. Lucia. And he came to Parliament to ensure that these goods were not only free of import duty, but they also the VAT, to remove the VAT from these goods. And as usual, Mr. Speaker, anytime you have to amend the VAT Act, you have to come to Parliament, Mr. Speaker. We've had discussions with the Customs Department, and they have assured us that they'll put everything in place to ensure that only clothing and toys and etc. come in these barrels. We know that sometimes people are tempted to bring other things in the barrels, but our discussions with the customs and the security forces have said to us that they will leave no stone unturned to that what comes in the barrels are to create Christmas cheer and to create goodwill for the people of St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. And a further amendment has been done, a further addition for elected parliamentarians. And stress the word elected, Mr. Speaker. Elected parliamentarians means people who have won elections. And we've ensured that all elected parliamentarians, all of them, elected parliamentarians, we have not discriminated against parliamentarians on one side. All elected parliamentarians, once the people have endorsed you, you'll be able to bring your goods in for your constituents, VAT-free and duty-free, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, we know that generally people are excited about the importation of barrels. So, and noting what is happening in the country now, how the expansion we've seen, Mr. Speaker, the economic activity that is in the island now, you can imagine what will happen when the Christmas season comes, Mr. Speaker. And considering the fact that civil servants will receive their bonus for Christmas, Mr. Speaker, We also will, we're sure that there'll be quite a bit of activity for the season. So I urge members to support this resolution for themselves and their constituents and for the people of St. Lucia generally.
Honourable members, the question is that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 4 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to A, exempt imports of personal items, food, clothing, toys, and other household consumables contained in barrels for the period commencing from the 15th day of October 2025 and terminating on the 28th day of February 2026. B, exempt imports of toys, food supplies, care packages, Christmas lights, and Christmas decorations by elected parliamentarians. Member from Eagle South, Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much.
Testing. Apparently, mine not supposed to speak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The opposition is in full support of this motion. I want to say that so that there's no misunderstanding, that the member is correct, that this is a regular occurrence, and during our tenure, it was made available to everyone. So there was never any amendment to that, so I'm glad we're continuing to practice what has been processed. Certainly I would see it a little bit differently than the member does. I would say that if there was ever a year, Mr. Speaker, that people are in need of this relief, it is this year. Clearly we have seen a dismal performance in tourism. We've seen, unfortunately, a continuing decline in our culture. We've seen no major improvements in the area of manufacturing. And in fact, we see that one contractor, Mr. Speaker, one contractor has received over $700 million in government contracts for the year. So, Mr. Speaker, if there was ever a time in this country in which people are suffering because of the economic malaise that's taking place in this country, where people are in desperate need of funds and relief, this is going to be welcome news for them, more so this year, Mr. Speaker, than at any other time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Castries Central.
Bonjour, Mr. Speaker. Bonjour tout le monde. Moi, je voulais dire les 7 les siens. Aujourd'hui, c'est Journée créole internationale. Et aujourd'hui, c'est un jour, Mr. Speaker, qui a fait nous changer. Manière nous changer la main 15 fois, 14 fois, 700, 7 fois British, 7 fois français, anglais et français. Et Mr. Speaker, langue maman nous, c'est créole là. Et si vous voulez montrer nous sont 7 les siens, c'est faux ou pas les créoles. Mais Mr. Speaker, moi je voulais dire avant de venir ça pour mettre moi souple pour dire un petit bagage qui fait ici à plus bonnet. Laissez Mike là pas de travail, Mr. Speaker. Moi j'étais downstairs et moi ouais leader of opposition il vini servi Mike Mam Central Castries. Moi trouvé ça drôle timide, Mr. Speaker. Raison moi trouvé ça drôle because Mam opposition, leader opposition, il a servi Mike Soufouya yo kuide. Il try Mike au l'autre côté yo kuide. Il gagne oui so actuellement yo kay kuide. So myself Steve Levin Central Castries, he welcome, but make sure you ka kuide, Mr. Speaker, because là non ti moun là a de oui so qui sa parler patois, qui ka comprendre c'est moun. Vous comprenez, Mr. Speaker? Qui fait excès mouna, il pas qu'à couiller au chien, il pas qu'à couiller au jackass, il pas qu'à couiller au béga, il pas qu'à couiller au incohant, et qui qu'à travailler, il pas qu'à couiller au macaque. Et Mr. Speaker, jodi a koudi, nous pas koudi ici, Mr. Speaker. Jodi a, Mr. Speaker, journée créole internationale. C'est un jour nous ne pouvons réfléchir. Allez ça, grand-maman nous et grand-papa nous passer pour l'appétit, ces gens blancs qui te caban nous cool, qui a floc même. Ils ont battu nous avec fouette, Mr. Speaker. Et aujourd'hui jour, nous nos membres parlement ça qui a still fait nous changer. Ça y est qu'à faire nous et qui a demandé les 7 lycéens pour faire nous même bagaille là, ces gens blancs qui a fait ces gens noirs. Mais nous pas oublier, Mr. Speaker. Nous pas oublier. Mr. Speaker, you know sometimes you come here and you are hoping to be refreshed with factual information. When I hear, I mean a simple barrel thing, Mr. Speaker. Something that's so simple and you know, it's a fait accompli. It happens every year. It's not a fresh start. And the man has the audacity to say one contractor got 700. I'm not even going there. I will not even go there, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, if I may jog his memory, 11 days before the election of 2021, he had a contracted, I reckon, worth of $70 million waiting to be signed. But the Almighty intervened, Mr. Speaker, and brought his chosen son to lead this country out of the economic misery that it was, Mr. Speaker. And when he talks about it is, if there is a time you need it, is now, Mr. Speaker. Nous, tout nice, they came in. They stopped the NICE program, Mr. Speaker. They stopped it. They stopped the distress fund. They stopped everything that was earmarked for the poorer people of this country. You know, tell people go and get insurance. Today, Mr. Speaker, you have the youth economy. You have the laptop program when they ask you, you have the MSME program. You have everything from the womb to the tomb being facilitated the people of this country by this government. Some of them may benefit from it because they need early childhood education. Some of them may benefit from it, Mr. Speaker. So we have everything in place. For over 32 years, Mr. Speaker, this country had not seen economic growth consistently for 5 years of over 3%. Today, Mr. Speaker, we are seeing this under this government led by Philip Joseph Pierre. 5 years of consecutive growth, Mr. Speaker. What is the leader of the opposition talking about? Does he live under a stone? Does he live only in Deraso? Where does he live? Although I understood right now there is a young doctor who was forced to take residence in Deraso. Yes, he's running for cover. You know, he's running for cover, Mr. Speaker. But if you are saying something, say something that makes sense, Mr. Speaker. Say something that makes sense. What you are saying makes no sense. It flies in the face of reality. Never before we had a housing assistance program. Never before we had 4 CXCs being paid for every student. Not flubber students, for every student. Never before we have all facilities fees being paid. Never before. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So, Mr. Speaker, sometimes, when the leader of the opposition speaks, you really wonder, is he just speaking because he wants to speak? Is he speaking because he wants to create anxiety? But surely he must understand the statistics, the data, and everything else point in a totally different direction from the utterances he makes. And I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, that this honorable House will be devoid of that kind of nuisance, those kinds of asinine utterances after the Honorable Prime Minister calls D-Day to select another parliament to handle the affairs of this country. Some will be added, some will be extracted. And I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, that no longer we shall have this member from Miku South in this chamber, because his utterances are far, far, far from reality. My short comment, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we come...
Leader of the Opposition and member of Castries Central.
Speaker, we come to this honorable House, Mr. Speaker, to pass a simple resolution.
Leader of the Opposition.
To pass a simple resolution, Mr. Speaker. And he's opened up a whole can of worms, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, just want to say 2 things. This month end, we paid $3.3 million to the policemen in this country. $3.3 million to the police in this country. $3.3 million. For the first time, policemen got a back pay on their allowances. Never before, and I can stand corrected, and if I am corrected, I will willingly say that I earned or I made a mistake. Policemen got a back pay on their allowances. If I am wrong, I'll say it, Mr. Speaker. $3.3 million, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have a country, and you know, it's okay for us to go on the any way you want and speak and say these things, Mr. Speaker. But when you come to this honorable house, you ought to come to this honorable house with a sense of respect for the people of St. Lucia. A sense of respect for the records of this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to read to you something that was sent to me this morning by a student that got impacted by the government policies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and you know, and that is the problem. That's the problem, Mr. Speaker. The opposition refuses to understand that this country has moved on. This country is moving, Mr. Speaker. This country is moving forward, Mr. Speaker. Let me read to you what came from a young lady to me this morning, Mr. Speaker. She said, "Good morning, Prime Minister. I just saw a clip about the removal of the guarantors for scholarships. This is greatly appreciated, and I've put a lot of persons like myself, mine at ease. Thanks a million. God bless you, Mr. Speaker." That's a real person. That's a real person. That's a real person. That's not a person who had the benefit of being able to go to school on the father's money. That's a real person. And that is what that real person is saying, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, so when we come here and we grant charge and try our best to destabilize this country with absolute nonsense that has absolutely no facts, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this economy has grown from minus 20 when he left it. Minus 20% negative. It has grown, and the IMF report that'll come out next week, because some of them like to quote IMF reports, Mr. Speaker. But you know, the time will come when we'll have a discussion on the economy. And I've always said to myself, I ain't no economist. I'm a politician fighting for people. But the time will come when we'll have a discussion on the economy. Because this nonsense that people peddle around about the economy of St. Lucia. The economy of St. Lucia is based on facts, on recorded fact from the IMF, from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, from the World Bank, and from the Ministry of Finance. It's not I say it, Mr. Speaker. So when he comes and he shouts this, because Mr. Speaker, this morning I came to the Parliament in a very good mood. I came to the Parliament for us very sedate, because I'm thinking about how we will run the country after the next general election. That's what I'm thinking about. But Mr. Speaker, with his usual grand charge and threat, Mr. Speaker, disrespecting the people of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, the tourism industry has collapsed when, Mr. Speaker, up to today, the cost of airline tickets from Miami, from the US, up to now, you can't get a business class ticket to go to Miami. Up to today, when we're supposed to be in the off season. Absolutely no fact, Mr. Speaker. So we are going to discuss the economy. The economy will be discussed, because I've kept very quiet on the economy. We'll discuss it, Mr. Speaker. We will discuss the economy. So, Mr. Speaker, I really do not want to be speaking about that today. But he opens the door all the time. And he doesn't open the door with any sensible things. He opens the door to play to the gallery, Mr. Speaker. So I want him, let's discuss the economy. Let's discuss it. Mr. Speaker, what did he leave? He left unemployment of nearly 43% for young people. What's unemployment now for young people? What did he leave? He left unemployment for young people of nearly 43%. He left unemployment in the country generally about 24 to 25%. Where is unemployment now, Mr. Speaker? What investment did he leave in this country? How many hotels did he build? How many hotels did he build, Mr. Speaker? So when he opens the door about the economy of this country, talk about something else. Let's discuss the economy. How much money do you leave in the treasury? One day, and that people know, I will tell you how much money was left in this country on the 31st of July 2021. And I will tell you what the payables of the country were. Because you know, we've kept very quiet around the country. So they go around, they talk and they talk and they talk, going over the country, all over the world, bad talking this government, trying your best to destabilize this country, Mr. Speaker. But time is coming. The time is coming. The time is coming when the people are going to answer you. They're going to answer you. Because you must stop this envy and this hatred. Mr. Speaker, here's a man who says the people of this country ought to be flogged. That's a man who goes on public and says the people of this country ought to be flogged. And then hypocritically, he puts some bad fitting clothes on him, trying to be an African guy. And he goes with this bad fitting clothes, 3/4 pants, and coming and going to Barbano and saying nonsense about he don't hate nobody. You're a man that said people are supposed to be flogged. You're a man that supposed to be flogged, Mr. Speaker. So don't try to divert. The time is coming when you have to account to the people of St. Lucia. I'm accounting and you have to account. So don't believe that you can. Don't worry about this thing. You can fool people. You're always threatening people. You only want to revenge, Mr. Speaker. That's why some people call in office and say, I'll be a minister. You must be a to be a minister.
And I will make him sing.
So, Mr. Speaker, I am saying to you, Mr. Speaker, that his problem.
Mr. Prime Minister Solo, leader of the opposition, I trust when you shall be speaking, you shall not seek the protection of the chair.
His problem, Speaker, is he doesn't understand that the only man in call elections is me. I'm the only man to call elections. So you can sit there, you can talk, you can shout, you can scream, I will call elections. And if he doesn't like it, I will call music. Don't tell me I'll do it when I want. And when I do it, I will do it when the time is right. And we'll have a debate on how you left this country. You left this country. We're not afraid to debate on what you left us. Let's debate it. Every aspect of life in this country you left in total disrepair, shambles. That's what you left. And look at it now. That's what you left. Not one investment, not one hotel came in this country before or after COVID when you were Prime Minister. Not one. Not one room. Next week, we'll tell you about investments in this country. Next week, we'll tell you. So, Mr. Speaker, I didn't want to go there, but when
just a minute again.
And we are saying anything you say, anything you've done, we've done you better than you. We've managed the economy better than you. We've run this country better than you. Anything you've done better than you. And the record will show. The only thing we have not done better than you is to take revenge, to victimize people, and to attack people's children and grandchildren. That's all we have done, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the time is coming for us to debate. The time is coming for all the gurus, all the bright sparks to come forward. That's the time. The time is coming. Because, you know, Mr. Speaker, they believe that because they get a little platform, they can attack prime ministers. People with years of experience in politics. People who have done things that not even me can dream of. People have served the region and the country. You can attack them, Mr. Speaker, but the time will come when the people of St. Lucia will, and I can speak from experience, the people of St. Lucia have elected me for 6 times. And that's not what people tell me, that's a fact. That's a fact, Mr. Speaker. So you can say whatever you want about me. The people. And I've led by winning mine. I didn't get mine, I fought for mine, and I won it. Nobody gave me a seat. I didn't go in any sure seat. I fought a seat that people fought I could never win. And that is my history, Mr. Speaker. That's my history. And I can defend that history anywhere in the world. Defend yours. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the question is that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, Number 4 order, which amends Schedule 3 of the Act to A. Exempt imports of personal items, food, clothing, toys, and other household consumables contained in barrels for the period commencing from the 15th day of October 2025 and terminating on the 28th day of February 2026. B. Exempt imports of toys, food supplies, care packages, Christmas lights, and Christmas decorations by elected parliamentarians. I now put the question. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Finance Minister.
Whereas under Section 17 of the Health and Citizen Security Levy Act, Cap 15.4 for the Act, it is provided that the Minister of Finance, with the approval of Cabinet, may by order published in the Gazette, amend Section 3 of the Act. And whereas it is further provided under Section 17 of the Act, that an order made pursuant to Section 17 of the Act is subject to an affirmative resolution of Parliament. And whereas the Minister of Finance seeks approval of the draft Health and Security Levy Act, amendment of Schedule 3 order, to amend Schedule 3 of the Act by an affirmative resolution of Parliament to include the following 2022 harmonized commodity description and coding system codes and corresponding descriptions for the goods listed in Item 2 of Part 1. 4403.11.00 coniferous, 4403.1200 non-coniferous, 4403.99.00 other, 4407.11.10 pitch pine, 4407.11.20 Caribbean cedar, 4412.33.00 other with at least one outer ply of non-coniferous wood of the species Alder almus spp, ash fraximus spp, beech fagus spp, birch petula spp, cherry prinus spp, chestnut chastine spp, M. ulmus spp, well, SLP, Eucalyptus spp, hickory carry spp, horse chestnut acetilus spp, lime tilia spp, maple acer spp, oak Cucumis spp, plane tree Plantinus spp, poplar and aspen populus spp, robina spp, tulip wood Liriodaren spp, or walnut juglans spp, 4418.92.00 cellular wood panels, 4421.99.10 spools, caps, bobbins, sewing threads, reels, and the like, or turned wood. Be it resolved that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft Health and Security Levy Act, amendment of Schedule 3 order, to amend Schedule 3 of the Act by an affirmative resolution of Parliament, to include the following 2022 harmonized commodity description and coding system codes and corresponding descriptions for the goods listed in item 2 of part 1. 44.03.11.00 coniferous, 4403.12.00 non-coniferous, 4403.99.00 other, 4407.11.10 pitch pine, 4407.11.2 knot Caribbean cedar, Sigera adorata, 4412.33.00 other with at least one outer ply of non-coniferous wood of the species Alder almus spp, Ash fraximus spp, Beech fagus spp, Birch petula spp, Cherry purinus spp, Chestnut castina spp, Elms allumus spp, Eucalyptus spp, Hickory carver spp, Horse chestnuts, Acerus spp, Lime Tilia spp, Maple Acer spp, Oak Curious spp, Plane Tree Planturous spp, Poplar and Aspen Populus spp, Robina spp, Tulip Wood or Walnut Juglans spp. Mr. Speaker, this resolution is to facilitate the replacement of the listed HS 2012 codes in Schedule 3, Part 1 of the Health and Security Levy Act with the corresponding HS 2022 codes. This is all part of the migration by the Customs and Excise Department from the HS 2012 classification of goods to the HS 2022 classification of goods. This is consistent with the adoption of the new Customs HS 2022 tariff scheduled to take effect on November 1st, 2025. By way of a brief background, Mr. Speaker, on the harmonized system HS of commodity description, the Council of Trade and Economic Development, co-head of CARICOM, at its 53rd meeting endorsed the recommendation from the World Customs Organization and mandated that all member states migrate to the 2022 harmonized system HS of commodity description. The HS classification of goods is reviewed by the World Customs Organization every 5 years. However, Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia's Customs and Excise Department is currently using the 2012 version of the HS, which was implemented on November 1st, 2024, as per Statutory Instrument number 112 of 2014. The Department of Finance, alongside the Customs and Excise Department and other government ministries, upon the receipt of the generic CARICOM given HS 2022 tariff in January 2022, began the process of converting it into St. Lucia's national tariff in the HSS nomenclature. The tariff refers to the schedule of import duty rates for each classification of goods organized under 99 chapters. The migration process involved amendments to include additional code classification breakouts specific to St. Lucia to cater to desired domestic policy changes such as the tax treatment for plastics and sustainable vehicles. The adoption of the new HS 22 tariff is effective legislatively through a statutory instrument, a customs duty amendment of Schedule 4 order signed by the Minister of Finance and does not require parliamentary approval. Related tax and trade laws are required to be updated with HS 2022 codes to replace the HS 2012 codes where they appear in schedules to these laws, namely the Excise Tax Act, the VAT and the Health and Citizen Security Act, and the External Trade Act, restricted imports. Most of these amendments also do not require parliamentary approval and are to be effected for a statutory instrument. However, under Section 17, the changes of the HS codes in Schedule 3 of the Health and Security Act requires an affirmative resolution of Parliament Hence the tabling of this resolution today for parliamentary approval. Mr. Speaker, again, St. Lucia, in modernizing its customs procedures, Mr. Speaker, had to move from one set of HS codes to another set of HS codes. Now, we can do that without coming to Parliament, but health and security levy, just like the VAT, mandates that these changes must get parliamentary approval, Mr. Speaker. So we are coming to Parliament for parliamentary approval, Mr. Speaker, for these goods that we do not pay health and security levy on. This is simply what we're doing.
Honourable members, the question is that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft Health and Security Levy Act Amendment of Schedule 3 order to amend Schedule 3 of the Act by an affirmative resolution of Parliament to include the following 2022 harmonized commodity description and coding system codes and corresponding descriptions for the goods listed in Item 2 of Part 1. Coniferous, non-coniferous goods, other, pitch pine, Caribbean cedar, other with at least one outer ply of non-coniferous wood of the species alder, Ailnus spp, ash, Fraxinus spp, beech, Fagus spp, birch, Betula spp, cherry, Prunus spp, chestnut, Castanea spp, elm, Ulmus spp, eucalyptus spp, hickory, Kaya spp, horse chestnuts, Aesulus spp, lime, Tilia spp, maple, Acer spp, oak, Quercus spp, plane tree, Latanus spp, poplar and aspen, Poplars spp, robina, Robina spp, tulip wood, Lyrhodendron spp, or walnut, Juglans spp, cellar wood panels, spools, caps, bobbins, sewing thread reels and the like, or turned wood. We'll just suspend for just 1 minute to check again.